going on, everybody? My name is M2Great, and I have another video tutorial to show you guys. It's been a while since I've made one of these, and, well, here we are again, and this time it's on something that I have recently obtained, and anyone who has seen my most recent LP will know what it is. As I'm recording this, I had just begun my LP of Super Mario 3D Land, and right off the bat, I have already received the comments on how I record my game, as well as a few messages as to how I'm recording my game, as it is the first 3DS LP that I am recording, and most people know that having access to recording a 3DS or a DS is not very easy. So now I have recently picked one up, and now I'm going to show you how I do it. Yeah. So first things first is I'm going to go ahead and open up a new tab, and I am going to go over here to this link over here called 3dscapture.com. This will be linked on the description if so that you don't have to manually type it in. But this is the site that I got my capture card. So this is the original site where you could actually get one of these. I believe the first video that was recorded on a 3DS capture card was sometime in, I want to say either 2012 or 2013. It was around that time, and it blew up really hard on YouTube. And I don't even know if I could find that video anymore. But nowadays, it's pretty well known that these things exist, and a lot more people have them now than how many people used to have them. But this is the page right here, and you want to go ahead and read these over here just so you know what you're getting yourself into. And big note of reference: if you do not have, this is only supported on a original 3DS and not the newer 3DS, variations of 3DS like the XL, the 2DS, and the new 3DS. As you see, you have a few screenshots here. This is what the capture card will look like once you get it installed, and then here is a screenshot of how you record it. And so you want to go ahead and go over here to the order page, and that is where you can get your 3DS capture card. There's a few options here. Once you click on the order link, there will be the most common option now is you buy the capture card. Well, you pay for the capture card, and then you send your 3DS over to Loopy, who is the creator of these capture cards over here. And so you send it over to Loopy. You do have to pay. So not only do you have to pay for the capture card, but you also have to pay for the shipping costs in order to send it over there. It was quite the cost for me because I was shipping from California to Utah, which is Loopy's apartment address. Let's see, there is also an option somewhere where you can also order a DS capture card from him. So if you have an original DS, like the very first kind of a DS, you can also get one here. I don't actually remember where exactly you can get where exactly you can find that, but there will be a link directly over. Actually, let me see if I can find it. Okay, I found it. So yeah, here is the DS capture card. So if you have an original DS, this is where you can find this as well. And as you can see, the setup is a little bit different too. You have a different software, different drivers, guide, and as you can see, it's only supported with the original DS. So not the Lite, not the DSi or whatever. The DSi XL, those things exist. But keep that in mind. So once again, order the capture card bio over here, clicking this link, and then you pay for it, send it over to Loopy, and once again you have to pay for the shipping, which obviously I don't have an original DS, so this right here is not really for me. There used to be an option where you can buy a new 3DS with the capture card installed, but that has long been taken out, just because now nowadays the 3DS sales are no longer happening as we're recording this, and so it'd be really hard for a Loopy to buy a 3DS every single time somebody orders a 3DS with a capture card installed. But at the time that exists, it was $400, and then now we have, and then these capture cards alone are $200. Well, they used to be $200. Now the price has been reduced to like $170. I don't actually remember. DS capture cards are somewhere around that range, but I believe they're a little bit cheaper than the cards. So you might want to install this, and then also, like, you know, look at some of the forums, and then here's a gallery of some cool things here. It's actually pretty nice. Oh, I think this is the video right here that I found on YouTube way back in the day when I found these out. Anyway, yeah, here's a few screenshots. Here's of like the kind of the behind the scenes, I guess you could say, what Loopy will do to your 3DS. Send it over to him. But yeah. Also keep in mind, when you send your 3DS over to him, you want to make sure you have some way of letting Loopy know who you are. That way he knows who to send your 3DS back to. What I did is I attached my email receipt into the package, and also write a little note. The note wasn't really necessary, but I wrote it like just in case. And then depending on how long it takes, then it will take maybe 2-3 weeks. He says it takes like 1 to 2 days for the capture card to actually install into your 3DS. But also keep in mind that he is incredibly busy, because your 3DS is not the only 3DS that is shipped over to him. There's like several other people in line who have 3DSs shipped over to him. So just be patient. If absolutely necessary, you can email him. There will be an email over on the order page where you can contact him. And then there's also some forum posts over here where you can, and Loopy is actually fairly active on the forum. So you will get a reply from him pretty quickly. So his communication with people ordering stuff from him is really good. Alright, so here's another alternative for 3DS capture cards. This is more so for the European buyers, very much. This is called Murky.net, and Murky he used to be Loopy's partner for making 3DS capture cards. Like, it's more friendlier for European buyers, just so they don't have to ship their 3DS all the way like across the country, which, given the current situation right now, that would be really hard. And also international shipping is really difficult and really expensive. What's nice about this is well, as of right now, it's not really. It's kind of hard to say. I don't really follow up with this guy much for Murky, but his capture cards were sold in a variety. Well, he had a variety of different 3DS capture cards. So way back when he used to do this, he had capture cards for 3DS XL, new 3DS, 2DS, and then also original DS. He even had an option where you could actually attach connect your 3DS to your TV via HDMI, which was actually, which I thought was really cool. But right now, he's not selling any 3DS capture cards at the moment for any of the European buyers. Then there was also this one. People in the recent days now may have probably known who this guy is. KT, Tatsu KT. Now they don't exist. It's a Japanese 3DS capture card seller. As far as what I've been hearing from people who use capture cards from Katsukity, they weren't really the best, and also the communication between people and Katsukity wasn't always the greatest, unfortunately. But Katsukity does not, his site does not exist anymore. But in recent times, before they closed down their shop, this used to be the primary way of getting 3DS capture cards. And then now we have Loopy. Loopy's back. Loopy. There was a point in time where Loopy didn't stop selling 3DS capture cards for a pretty long time, but he has came back since last month as I'm recording this. So if you're interested in getting one of these, you better take advantage of the opportunity now, because the opportunity will run out, and I can guarantee you that, because it has happened before. But anyway, wow, I did not actually realize I was recording for this long, and we haven't even gotten to the actual setup. So now we're going to actually get to the actual setup. Yeah, sorry about that, but this is just the general idea, and there's a lot to go over before you know what you're getting yourself into. All right, so when you get your 3DS back after getting your capture card installed, so here's my 3DS right here. What you'll get is this part right here. You turn the 3DS around, so you'll get this black piece right here, and that's the capture card. And if you're wondering, this is the back part of my 3DS right here. You'll just completely take it off of your 3DS, and then get this thing right here installed. And so you can do whatever you want with this back piece. I'm keeping it just in case I need, let's say, like my MAC address or something on my 3DS for whatever reason, which could be important. Who knows? But anyway, yeah. So, oh yeah, there's water on my the condensation from my water. Anyway, but yeah, here's the capture card right here. And so, what you'll get is your 3DS, the back piece over here, which is right there, and then you will get a nice little cable over here, which looks something like this. This is it's approximately 3.5 feet, according to the order site. So it's kind of short, but I mean, you really don't need that long of a cable. This kind of cable you could get in a few different places as well. So if this cable ever decides to wear off on you, then you can always get another one online somewhere. I don't actually remember what this type of cable is. USB. Oh, it's a USB-B cable. You can easily find one of these online somewhere. But the first thing you want to do is if you look over here, this black part of the back of your 3DS will have an input jack for the USB-B cable. So you want to plug that in onto your 3DS. I actually have it backwards, I think. Oh, never mind. Alright, I can't even see through. Okay, so that's plugged in, and then you want to go ahead and plug this into your computer. Okay. It's also, if you have a 3.0 USB port, it will work. But according to Loopy, he says that a 2.0 USB port works better. I'm plugging into the 3.0 port of this computer over here. You can also plug in your charger while this is plugged in as well, if you want. But one of the problems that I have, this is not for everybody, as I found out. It just happens to happen on my 3DS. But whenever I plug in the charger, it will give a flickering screen, and it's not really a big deal because I can just not play with the charger on. But that could also be. I mean, if I want to play while charged, then yeah, that sucks. But anyway, if I go ahead and turn on my 3DS right now, and as you can see, yeah, it flickers. And that's mostly because the 3DS thinks that it's like constantly unplugged and unplugged and plugged in. It's kind of weird. But yeah, all I gotta do is just unplug the charger, and then it won't flicker. But anyway, yeah, so you can turn on the 3DS and while the thing is plugged in, and well, now we have it all set up. So now all we gotta do is just set up the recording. So after you have the capture card set up and plugged in, then now what you have to do is on your site, on this site right here, you want to go ahead and click on this, which will download the drivers and for the capture card. You might want to download this as well, just in case you run into some problems with the software. And then you want to go ahead and download the actual software installed, which I already have both of these downloaded already, so I don't need to show this off again. So then, once you have all that, you want to go ahead and open up the software. I'm going to do right now on my other screen. Software is now opened up, which go ahead and now show this off. So over here, this is what the software looks like once you have it downloaded. So you have two windows. This right here is the screen that's going to display your 3DS, which right now is on. I can turn on right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so it is on. And so over here is the volume tracker. It does not go by the volume on your 3DS. If I mute my 3DS right now, still hear audio. You can just lower the audio down like this if you want, which I'm actually going to, for the sake of you guys hearing me in the video. But yeah, so this will display whatever is showing on your 3DS. You could full screen this. You can actually play off of this screen right here, and there's actually no input delay or anything like that. So and the original 3DS has a pretty small screen, so if you want to play on the big screen right here on your monitor, then you can. I've always played on the actual on my own 3DS just because the screen's is right there. But anyway, this window right here is where you're going to do all your controls and such. So this is a record, this is to take a snapshot. You can also split the windows, which they now look like this now. So we have the top screen and bottom screen. Actually make them both full screen. Ooh, that looks kind of yeah. Yeah, you can do that. Or you can just bleed them together, which this is what I usually do right here. Let's see. This is where you can change to your output settings, which I have an entire folder full dedicated to my all the videos, all my raw recordings. This folder, and the video comes out in AVI, just so you know, which I do not like this video format. That's the only thing I don't like about this is that it is AVI. AVI is not a very good format in my opinion. So video settings. These are there's a bunch of different codecs you can use. The default is Microsoft Video 1, and I've left that alone. I don't know what the differences are between the different codecs. Well, there definitely are different differences, but I've always just used Microsoft Video 1 and never really bothered to look at the other codecs. And I like my videos in good quality, so I pretty much maximize my quality settings right here. 100% quality, 60 FPS. And then you can choose to record whichever screen that you want to record. I record both screens, always, in case that there's something I need to show for whichever screen is necessary. Let's see, configure. Oh, okay, yeah. This one is I don't mess with it. And good. Yeah. Audio settings. Now here's the hardest part. Well, this is the most difficult part when I was originally trying to set this up. Is audio. So somewhere around along the line here. Well, it's gonna be at like default pretty much. Like this right here is probably like your default setting. Microphone, build tech, or whatever your default audio setting is on your computer. This was the hardest part on trying to record audio, because what's going to happen is it's going to record your microphone pretty much. And so I actually had to this right here will record system audio, which will include the audio coming from the 3DS as well as whatever is coming from my computer. So you can access the control panel through here, and what was really difficult with trying to get audio to record on this software was the fact that over here in your control panel, you want to go ahead and enable this. To enable it, you go here to properties, and then somewhere along the line, you want to go ahead and okay, yeah, right here, device usage. It will be on disable on default, and then you want to go ahead and use this device, enable it, and then now whatever is playing on your system will be an audio. Will be used as a mic setting now. So now we have. So now this is enabled. And then I can have 3DS audio coming from my recording, which is nice. Okay. So if I go ahead and load my game like right now, I'm gonna go ahead and play New Super Mario Bros. 2. You can go ahead and just load up a file here. Okay. So, yeah. Also, one thing to note is that you can turn on the 3D. However, it will not show up in 3D. Like, you'll see the 3D on your 3DS, but you will not see it on the record. You can kind of tell if you turn the 3D on just by like the shifts on the picture, which is actually pretty cool. I like that. But yeah. All right. So then, if you're ready to record, you just gotta go ahead and just balance out like the audio and whatnot, and then hit record. It's gonna start recording. So it'll show all this right here: the timer, the video file, your FPS, and then we can start. Recording here. So yeah. So this is actually pretty cool. Oh wow, I got hit. So yeah, so the quality is really nice for this being one of the original 3DS capture cards and then like branched out for other companies to make 3DS capture cards for themselves as well. I'd say Loopy did a really good job at developing this kind of tool that allows people to record 3DS games. And I've said the story on streams before, but for anyone who doesn't for anyone who hasn't been to my streams, I mentioned that now that I have one of these, I can actually now expand my variety of doing 3DS LPs now. So you can stop recording, and then it stops automatically. But yeah, now I can record whatever 3DS game, or whatever game I want now, instead of being limited to just console games, which is awesome. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my 3DS now. Alright, so now we're done with that. So once you're done with your recording, you can go ahead and start doing editing. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my editing software right now, Vegas Pro 11. They're gonna judge me because there's a much later version of Vegas, but this is the version that I use. Pretty outdated. Still works. But here's Vegas now, and I'm gonna go ahead and find my recording file, which is over here. We're gonna go ahead and import it, and then it looks like this. So if you've watched my LP of 3D Land, you'll know that I'm showing mostly the top screen, and then every once in a while the bottom screen, or both, if need be. The way I do that is I go over here, I right click on the video track, and go to Video Event Pan Crop. So here's the window over here. You can zoom it in if you want to make things easier on you. But what I do is I kind of just drag this up to the until it shows just top screen. Also, some of these right here will be checked by default if you are new to Vegas Pro 11 or new to Vegas Pro in general. And so I believe it's these two right here, or it's these right here that are marked. And so you want to go ahead and uncheck these. That way you could freely crop. So there's still black bars. Then I just hit no for maintain aspect ratio, and then now we have the actual full screen. And then same thing over here for bottom screen. On the other hand, go ahead and do this right here, and then well, bottom screen is not widescreen, so this is the proper aspect ratio. But if you don't like the black bars, you can just simply do this. And then of course default for ooh, that looks ugly. And then of course this right here for if you want to not do, well, if you want to show both screens pretty much. Yeah, so once again, I'm just gonna go ahead and show the top screen. And also, it's important that you want to save this, so that way you don't have to keep on doing this every single time. So I have my own preset for 3DS top screen, 3DS bottom screen, both screens. That's my own preset here. Here's my preset for top screen. Go, and then it looks like this, pretty much. Okay, so then, when you're done editing, you can go and hit render as, and there's a bunch of different formats you can edit this in. Go ahead and, for simplicity's sake, I have my own templates for different qualities that I edit in, or that I render in. I normally use 720p quality, and then I use 480p if videos that I edit don't need to look good. And then you can go ahead and name it. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it 3DS test. And it's gonna start rendering. Alright, and the video is done rendering, so we're gonna go ahead and open it up. Which here's the video over here. You can see it's nice full screen over here. And yeah, the quality is really nice. So yeah, there it is. So with that, that is how I record my 3DS games now. At least that's going to be how I record 3DS games. We've only done one right now, Mario 3D Land. And so yeah, like I said, now that I can record 3DS games, that has now expanded my variety of games to LP now. So it's gonna be really awesome to see what future games I have in store for you guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys learned something out of this video, and hopefully hopefully if you're interested in recording 3DS LPs, this is a way to get you started. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.